Hello, how are you? All right. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. Come on in. We are live tonight. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. We're gonna have a great conversation tonight. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's see, make sure everybody is there. All right. So let's see. Yes. We're here. We're here. We're here. So come on in, like and share, like and share, like and share. So let me go ahead and do what I always have to do over there on Facebook. So you can like it and you can share it. I'm going to try to do something tonight a little bit different on Facebook too. I'm going to try to share it within my community. So let's go ahead and try to do that. Of course, it always comes on with the volume. So come in, like and share. I hope you guys had a great week last week. I hope you guys are off to a good week this week. So go ahead and do that. So please come in and get ready for a great evening. So please do that. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. All right, and so please do that. So let's see. All right, let's go ahead here and do that. And I want to see if I can share, make it public, and I want to put it in my group. So I've never done this before, but I'm going to try it tonight to see what happens. See what happens tonight. So come on in and like and share. All right. I think I'm going to do it. I don't know. Let's say. I am trying to get everything done. Like and share tonight. We're going to be continuing in our session about strategic planning, right? We'll be doing that. So come in and please settle in. Save this post. It's going to be some great information that you can have because this is what this is all about, is getting the information out there, getting you guys ready for 2025 to be off to a great productive year. I know your people are like, well, it's only October. You're already talking about 2025. Look, they already had Christmas stuff out here, like what, a couple of weeks ago, they had started having Christmas stuff. So we as business people should be forward thinking and thinking about how we're going to drive growth and sustainability within a new year. So what I want to do is have you guys come in and really get into this segment and get into these videos. Again, these videos are here for you. They're not just on like the one channel, right? They're across, like I said, I'm broadcasting live across multiple social media channels to get you guys in here, to get this information to you. So I know that it's a great start. If you haven't been here before or you haven't done this with me before, so I welcome you guys in. So please come in and enjoy it. Again, I'm going to say, like, on, I don't know what is going on with that video on Instagram. Instagram seems to always kind of mess up a little bit. So what I wanted to tell you is come in and into the Zoom room, right? Into the Zoom room, and you will be able to see everything, hear everything, talk to me in this video. I put the link into the chat for everybody. And let me get ready and go start sharing my screen so you guys can see what we're going to be talking about today, because I'm kind of excited. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. I put it together 6 o'clock. I put it together because I understand that when I deal with a lot of my clients, especially my small business ones, they're not always understanding what it really means to do strategic planning, how it is good for your business, how it can be so effective for your business, for you to grow. And even if you have just started or thinking about starting a business, I will absolutely tell you that strategic planning is a great way for you to really think about where you want to go, where you are, where you want to go in your business. because we all have goals, right? We all have things that we want to achieve. So I will tell you absolutely that doing strategic planning will absolutely help you. So I want to welcome you in tonight. And I hope you have been enjoying the last few segments of it. So welcome to Ask a Coach Live with me, Rolanda Michele. And I really do hope you have been enjoying this information. If you missed anything, follow me on my YouTube channel. You can see the videos across all of my social media, but it might be a little bit easier for you if you looked at the YouTube channel because they're all there underneath the lives. So I put that link inside of the chat. So go ahead, like it and subscribe, and you will get this content and be able to see when I'm going live, and you'll be able to see it there. So I do want you guys to come in there and do that. So today, let's talk about what we're talking about today. So today, as you can see, we're talking about future-driven strategy, right? Future-driven strategy and integrating innovation into your business plan, right? So we'll walk through how to build a strategic framework that prioritizes innovation. That's what we're going to be talking about, innovation. And when you're strategizing and bringing innovation into that, it's really important to do that. Innovation isn't about like a few new ideas, right? It's about like evolving your business and staying competitive and resilient, right, in the changing times, and being forward thinking, looking forward. So together we're going to explore that and explore how to keep your vision still intact, because we talked about that a little bit last week, how to keep your vision still intact while incorporating adaptable strategies for lasting impact, and you're being innovative. So I hope you guys are here. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. Again, the link for my YouTube channel is in the comments. If you need to look at these videos at another time, feel free to go ahead and do that. So go ahead and join and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you will be able to get all of this information. These videos are always already there, and I will be adding additional videos there. There may not be across all the other social medias because YouTube is about videos. So I would say, please just go ahead and subscribe, and we will be building our content, especially in the coming year for 2025, because that's part of our strategic plan. So let's dig in to what we're going to be talking about today, right? Let's dig in. 3 minutes in, we're good. So today, the first thing we want to talk about is why innovation is like essential to your business planning, your business longevity, right? Why is this important? It's very important. It's innovation, right? Innovation is the foundation for long-term growth, right? So in today's world, in today's markets, customers have needs, right? They have needs, and they change. And technology, it also changed. These two things evolve consistently, completely. Oh, I mean, they might do a whole 180 in one cycle. So companies that keep innovation is a central part in their strategy are more prepared to adapt and outperform their competitors. So today we're going to head and discuss how to build a business plan, a business strategy that remains flexible, because we need to remain flexible, right? And keep up with the Joneses, right? Keeping up with that market demand, and position your business, position you and your organization for future success, for growth, right? These are all the things you need to think about. Market, like I said, the market evolution, remember that it changes. You need a competitive edge and need to be adaptable. Those 3 things are why these are important. Okay, that's why they're on the screen. That's why they're important. And if you are, as a business owner, as a business leader, you need to think about those things and understanding that innovation and planning is key to success, right? Yes, you can fall into success, but most people that have success didn't just fall into it. It was a plan that was reworked and adapted over time. So let's go ahead and see where we are right now. So defining, and remember my screen is over here, so sometimes I'm looking over the big screen. So what you guys are seeing is over here for me, you are here to me. So let's go ahead and start talking about defining innovation in like your strategic plan. So think about what does innovation really mean for your business? Like, what does it actually truly mean? It's these words are um always being talked about, right? People always talking about innovation. These are words that people are throwing out a lot of times. So when you think about innovation, innovation can take many forms, right? In a variety of industries, they vary, right? In any industry, they will vary. So you have to understand that. So you have to think about, you know, your innovations will be linked to your industry and may change because of your industry, right? But also can change because maybe you have some changing business goals, okay? Because these are all linked together. It might involve reimagining products, right? That will better serve your customers, right? It might be streamlining your processes for efficiencies and being more effective in your delivery of your products or services, or even reinventing your whole business model of how you're going to operate, right? You may have one, I always say don't get married to any idea, because as things change, you'll learn more. And as you learn better, you learn more, you do better, and you adjust. So these things may change. So these are the type of innovation things that can happen to you. Next thing, you want to identify like opportunities, right? And that's what I'm saying. Don't get married to anything. You need to identify opportunities and where your business can benefit most, right? From from innovation, by being innovative, right? Innovation is this is a crucial part for your crucial part um for focused and effective growth, right? So you have to think about what your needs are, and you really need to focus in on those things, because then when you become innovative, that will be really strategic. It's a really strategic thing that you're doing. And this the whole thing is the first step of creating a meaningful, adaptable strategy, right? So, for example, it has on the screen, it's a customer-driven product improvements, right? You might have digitizing your operations, automation of your operations, diversifying revenue streams. These are all things that could be things that you can have, put some innovation inside. Um, and these things will help you grow a sustainable business. So, as you're doing your planning for the year, for next year, think about ways that you can become innovative that will actually help you grow your business, become more effective, more efficient, inside of your business, and then make a plan to get those done. Now, understand it's one thing. I want to just make this one comment before I move on to the next slide. When you're making a strategic plan for 2025, do not believe that, oh, from October or whenever you start doing your plan, that everything needs to be done by January 1st. No, your plan is what you're going to be doing all year. So at the end of the year, you'll see that growth, right? So these will be initiatives, right? Improving, digitizing operations. So you won't digitize everything in a matter of a couple of weeks. That probably wouldn't work. It wouldn't be effective. And moving too fast sometimes, even though you might sit there and say, hey, I want to get it done, but do you want it done or do you want it done right? Right. So these are things when you're thinking about your planning, it's not that you're taking this moment to plan for 2025. But it's not that you have to get all these things in place for 2025. These are things that you will get in place in 2025. Does that make sense to you? Because I don't want you to think that I'm saying that you have to get this stuff done by the end of the year. This plan is something that you're going to say, okay, we're going to do this in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and this will be done. And then you'll break those things down into when they're going to be delivered, and probably backdate into start dates, right? Because you need to figure out approximately how long it's going to take us to do this innovation. Right. And some things may take 6 months. I'll tell you, some things may take a year or two, but that's part of your plan. You need to understand that. So this is how it helps you with your business. It'll get you to where you need to go. Understand that it's not something that you're going to say, oh, it's going to happen right now. It's not a dream of genie or your wish is my command type of thing. It still will take some work. So when we're thinking about this, right, there are some core elements of a innovative ready strategy, right? Innovation ready strategy. So let's talk about those things, because these things are very important in when you're thinking about what these elements are. So an effective innovation strategy begins with your vision. And that vision that encourages change, right? While maintaining your focus. Because you want to be able to change, but still be focused on there. We discussed the importance of having a vision and having it all align with your business goals and objectives in the last section. So if you missed it, like I said, please go check it out on October 23rd session. And you'll gain more information, right? Just go ahead and look it up. You have, that's why I put the YouTube channel in there, subscribe to it, and you'll be able to see them all. The next element I will talk about is flexibility, right? Being flexible in your goal setting. Like, so flexible goal setting powered by like an adaptive framework, like Agile or OKRs, that gives your team the structure that needs to that they need to innovate, right? But they can do it on a continual basis. You don't want to sit there and say, okay, everything has to be done today, right? You can do bit by bit and make improvements as you go along. And that way you can have the delivery and you can start recouping some of the rewards of those innovations, even though it may not be fully realized at that time. But you'll be able to start recouping some of the return on your investment early on when you deliver bit by bit and build off of it, right? Those are important. So the next thing I want to say is about setting your specific KPIs, your measurements, your metrics. You need to understand that. That helps you measure your innovation. You can monitor and sustain your growth and your progress. So you'll be able to see when you do that first part of your innovation, you'll be able to take a bit and you'll be able to look at your numbers and see that there was an improvement or there wasn't any movement whatsoever. And then you can see maybe this innovation is not what you thought it was going to be. Because guess what the beautiful thing about what I just said? You went ahead and you did a piece of innovation. You thought you did change. You put that thing in there and you're building this into your plan. And then you go in there and you did it in the first quarter and you look at the second quarter and you see no movement whatsoever. You might sit there and think, maybe this wasn't a problem that we thought it was. That sometimes helps you too with Agile instead of putting everything in at one time, because then the return may not be as well. But being innovative doesn't mean that you have to do everything all at one time, but figuring it out as you go along. You might say, hey, it was this piece but not this one and that one. That's part of being innovative. That's part of being agile and flexible, because when you're doing that, you want to make those improvements and you want to make sure those improvements are actualized in your data, because we all are driving to be that DDO, that data-driven organization. Well, I hope you are. So I want to talk about like embedding your innovation in your vision, into your visions and goals, right? Because you need to have that. Like we just talked about it a little bit. I want to dig a little bit deeper into this, because innovation, in an innovation-ready vision, right, it serves as a beacon for progress, right? By setting your SMART goals, and you can like ensure that your team understands both the destination and the path to get there, right? Because sometimes with the vision, people are like, okay, I see it. Okay, I hear you. How the heck are we going to get there? But creating this path forward will help people understand it, and some of that angst will go down some, right? So encouraging, so you want to do that with the path there, but you also want to encourage a mindset, right, where everyone contributes to the innovation, right? Because if they know where you're going, they know the pathway that's set forth, they can absolutely contribute to where you're going, right? That is, and then also that buy-in, like we always talk about, having your team's buy-in helps them accept the changes, and they own it, right? And they have accountability for it. We talked a lot about that, right? So it establishes a culture of curiosity, right? And adaptability all together. And this helps your team to actively contribute to the innovative process. They don't feel left out. So I always talk about inclusion for leaders to understand that you do need to include your team in the process, because that buy-in helps. I understand that there are things that are out of other people's pay grade, right? But when you keep them informed as you go along that this is coming down the way, this may impact you. These are the things that we know, and this is what we know more. We change the direction for this, and letting them know and communicate with them with that transparency. It really, even if they're not directly involved in the decision making, right? They do get that buy-in. And if you ask for feedback, that's a beautiful thing. And we'll talk about feedback in a little bit after this. Okay. So we want to talk about the crafting, right? That innovative driven vision, right? Because their vision and your strategy, they're all going to be together. These things have to go together. Your vision will drive your strategy. Because your strategy is going to tell you how you're going to get that vision and realize that vision. So we won't dig into this too much, since we have an entire conversation about this last session, right? We really did. However, an innovation focused vision doesn't just set a direction, right? It embodies your purpose while creating room for growth. Okay, so if you look at, like, let's talk about Google for 1 second. Google, yes, which keeps its purpose clear, but broad enough, right? It's clear, but it's broad enough, right, that it can evolve, right? It's evolving to it can evolve. So when your vision invites innovation, your team are more empowered. And we always talk about the empowerment of your team to contribute meaningfully, right? We don't want them to just feel like, oh, well, I'm just here, right? So we're talking about building processes for continuous innovation. Okay. So let's think about that. So if you think about it, to sustain innovation, you need to adopt flexibility in your structure. You need to have flexible structures. These flexible structures that will allow rapid response to your market shifts, because we know, right? We know that things are going to change in the marketplace. Customers are going to change. Customers' demand is going to change. By encouraging cross-functional teams, right? And these are things that flexible things. You can have cross-functional teams. You can also do that, and the integration and you have the integration feedback loops all together. Like you have those teams and those feedbacks from your customers and your internal personnel as well. You build the agility directly into your operations. You build it in by having that there. Embracing feedback loops in operational agility ensures your team can make real-time improvements, can make real-time decisions without disrupting the core operations, right? Because they'll have all of this. Like, so when you think about companies like Amazon demonstrate effectiveness of this by adjusting their goals as new data emerges. And that's what we always need to do. Like I said, don't be married. Don't get married to some of these things, because things will change. And as the market changes and the needs changes, you need to be able to be adaptable as well. You don't want to just be stuck into a pigeonhole, right? You don't want to pigeonhole yourself. Okay. So by them adjusting their goals with the data, it keeps them nimble, right? It keeps them nimble and still customer focused, because they're able to react, right? You hear, people pushing things up, pushing a rock up the hill, right? That's kind of what happens sometimes when you're not agile, right? Being agile, when you think about agile, you're thinking fast and nimble, you're able to move, and you want to be able to have your business have that type of movement, that flow, and that ability to be and the agility, right? To make those moves and react to what goes on around them, so they can stay competitive. Because like, the first to market is the person that's going to get the biggest market share. We know this. Usually the first to market gets the biggest market share, right? Maybe, but you still need to be agile, right? So let's think about that. So when you're thinking about building this, you need to also thinking about, it's not just about creating an innovative strategy, right? Creating your strategy of innovation. You need to empower your team, right? We need to empower your team for innovation, right? You need to cultivate the innovation from within your organization. Okay. And when I talk about innovation, I don't know exactly what it is that you need to innovate, okay? Because I haven't had a conversation with you. But I'm going to tell you that these are things that you need to consider when you are trying to be innovative in your organization. One thing that I would say that a lot of leaders I've seen forget is that there are people underneath all of that other stuff that you're doing, right? There are people that work with you. People work for you, however you want to say it. People are in these teams, and you need to think about these teams when you're thinking about making changes and being innovative. Because usually with innovation, it absolutely means there's some level of change that's going to go on inside of the organization. And change management is a big deal when it comes down to making changes in the organization. And I don't care how big you are, it is important to take care of those things. And these are things that you will need to think about as you're making these changes and being proactive about it. So innovation flourishes when employees feel empowered, right? They feel empowered. They empowered to bring their ideas forward, right? When they feel like you want to hear what they have to say, providing resources for experimentation, and recognizing like contributions can significantly enhance a team's engagement. Like, so when we're thinking about that, they're important. These are important pieces, right? These are important pieces to the puzzle, right? So when we're thinking about this, let's think about, is this Google 20% time, which allows employees to dedicate time to projects outside of their primary roles. This is a great way to think about it. So if you think about it, this is a policy that Google encourages. In addition to their regular projects, they're able to spend 20% of their time working on what they think will most benefit Google, right? So this is a great idea, right? And then you have on the other side, you have like IBM, right? IBM has several innovation labs, right? Innovation labs where they are designed to foster creativity and drive technology advancement inside of their organization. So that's how they can stay innovative. That's how they keep their teams cultivated and engaged inside of their changes in their growth, right? So they have research labs, they have innovation studios, and innovation jams, which are massive parallel conferences. Like there are a lot of things that people you can do to keep them engaged. I'm not telling you to do the 20%. Maybe you can't afford the 20%, right? Maybe maybe you're like, well, I don't have a lab, but you have to figure out a way that you can create a culture inside of your organization that allows those ideas to go. There's a lot of companies that have said that an employee came up with an idea, and that's what made them have this new thing that sold very well. You have a lot of talent. The reason why you hired those people is because you felt as though they were good adds to your organization. So why not use them? Why not see where they're going, see what they're thinking? This will help you build the organization that you want, right? I would think so. I love hearing from my team, even though they're sometimes, and I know sometimes they're skittish to say whatever they want to say, but I love hearing from my teams because they help me cultivate things and think about things in a way that I might not have been thinking about it because I'm coming from a whole different way. I'm coming from this needs to get done. And they're like, no, well, that doesn't make, yeah, it needs to get done. But the way you're thinking about it, that's not how it really works on the ground. Thank you for that information. Right. So when you're coming up with anything, right, how do you know that you're doing what you set out to do without having some level of metrics to to quantify, not qualify, quantify what you're doing, right? Because qualify, hey, I'm doing it. I think I'm doing good. I see an improvement. Yeah, for real. Are you really seeing an improvement? Yeah, it's proved. How much by? I don't know. That's where your KPIs and your metrics come into play, right? Measuring innovation success is critical in knowing what's working, and where you can improve. Like I was saying that if you, when I was saying a little bit earlier, when I was talking about having the doing your agile and you put a piece in, you'll be able to see if it's doing what you think it's supposed to be doing, having that impact that you thought it was going to have. And you can see those things, right? And maybe making adjustments to make it a little better. KPIs like KPIs like return on innovation and customer feedback help provide a comprehensive view of the impact, right? Because see, the customer feedback is the qualitative, right? They have no idea really what's going on behind the scenes, right? They just know that, hey, I had a better customer experience. It went quicker or whatever. You were like, hey, you know what? The things are loading 15 seconds quicker or whatever it is that you're measuring, right? So you can absolutely measure these things, and these things give you that quality, that quantity, quantifying, excuse me, and the qualifying data that you need to see if things are moving in a way you want to do. So by regularly reviewing this information and benchmarking your results ensures that you stay aligned with both your goals and industry standards, right? Because you want to sit there and say, well, I want to have this improvement by the end of the year, but I want to have 50% improvement, but I just say like, but if we have 10% done, I understand we have to get everything ramped up and it's going to take a little time to get ramped up before we get into it. So if we get 10 to 15% done in the first quarter, that's great. And then if we can have by the end of the second quarter, have 60% done or 50% done, right? And then the third quarter, we want to be at 80% because we understand like sometimes that last 20 might be the hardest to get, right, to the goal. So you might set those, and I'm just making these numbers up based off of how things work, because you usually have a hard time ramping up, then you go a little bit faster, then towards the end things slow down, right? That's the bell curve. That's how it is. So you would have to think about it that way. So these things help you understand if you're going to make it to the goal. You can sit there and see, wait a minute, we're halfway through the year and we still didn't get to 25%. What's going on? Right? Is this realistic or not realistic? And you can take a moment of time and do that. So these are the things that you need to do because your strategy can be adapted as you learn more. It should be adapted as you learn more. You shouldn't just say, this is where I am, that's how it's going to be. So as I always do, I always try to bring a real life case to you if I can find a case somewhere, old, new, or whatever. I try to find a case for you so we can talk about it in real world applications, because I think that some of this stuff is, theoretical. It may sound like, pie in the skies type of stuff, but when you see companies, and I try to get large companies, not companies like, oh, I know this mom and pop shop that I helped. The reason why I do these larger companies because I want you to understand that there's value in this information and I'm giving to you. And it's not that I'm just saying this because, oh, I'm trying to grab somebody's for their business. I'm telling you this because it actually is true. Me or anybody else, it's true. This is what happens, right? So we're talking about Lego, right? Lego, the case study we're talking about, Lego transforming strategy through innovation and their customer centricity. That's what they decided to do. So this is what we're going to talk about. Lego embedded like their strategic innovation within their business. Lego faced some serious financial struggles in the early 2000s. So they were nearly bankrupt by 2004. Yeah, right. And you see these crazy expensive Legos now, like especially that Star Wars Lego stuff. Yeah, I have a small one that likes that stuff. So they're expensive, right? But they almost went bankrupt in 2004. So to turn things around, the company implemented a strategy focused heavily on innovation and their customer engagement. So Lego established customer feedback loops. They formed cross-functional project teams and introduced like regular reviews and monthly monitoring, and adjusted innovation strategies as they saw fit. So this actually worked. So these are some of the key things that they did. And I'm not going to like go through it. They did customer, like I said, customer driven innovation. That they dedicated customer insight teams to gather this information for them, right? So they wanted to understand what was going on. They went ahead and it had some cross-functional teams. And because I could tell you something about cross-functional teams, it's a beautiful thing when you have people from different areas come together for one purpose. Because a lot of the times when it comes down to teams, especially when you have larger companies, people work in silos, right? They're just working in silos. So I know what I'm doing, but you don't know what this other team is doing. But you two probably directly impact one another. By having cross-functional teams, that helps everybody understand the common goal and how it all works together, not just their one piece of the puzzle, right? It's a great thing if you can do that, to have cross-functional teams we're feasible, right? They did quarterly innovation reviews, which I tell you, like I always say that if you're doing an implementation, it's going to be a long period of time. You do need to do, I would say, like some level of a monthly review, but the quarterly review will be where you dig into all of the data to really see it. Monthly reviews is just to make sure you're on step in progress. Quarterly reviews will make sure you stay on step with the progress, but also how is it going? How looking at those numbers, right? So these are really important so they can see the progression and identify like innovation ideas, whether they need adjustments, right? Because that's what they need to do. Then the other thing that they did was like digital strategy development, right? So they understood the change in the market in that time, right? The rise of digital platforms, right? So they went ahead and they embraced the technology. So they had that made partnerships, you know, and I was talking about this last night in my academy class about partnerships and actually affiliation, and that's what they did, so they can build on their brand to expand their markets, be innovative, and introduce new revenue streams, right? New ways to reach their audience. These are all things. So what happened with it, right? Look, by focusing on customer-driven feedback and establishing cross-functional teams, Lego was successfully revitalized in its brand and its product line. It had revitalization across it all. Their approach included, like they said, the quarterly reviews and those digital strategies. This led to substantial, and I would say sustainable too, uh market expansion, like revenue growth and a stronger brand loyalty, because people love Legos, even though parents hate stepping on them, but we still buy them for the kids, right? This example that I'm giving you about how this innovative strategic innovation in your strategic plan works, because it underscores the power of embedding it into your plan, and power of embedding it into your strategic framework. And it helps business stay relevant and competitive in the changing market. They saw the changing markets, people moving to digital, and they had to adapt the new platforms, the new way of doing things, or they were going to fail. And they did that. So I will absolutely tell you that is this is a way to go. So I hope you guys get what I'm putting down, right? Because the future of business is we have to be future focused, right? We need to be able to see things coming or react to those things coming even though we don't see it right now, right? So we need to make sure that innovation is inside of our strategic plan, in our business planning for the next year, or a few years, right? You don't have to, you can do a plan for more than multiple years. You can absolutely do a strategic plan for multiple years. So let me tell you something. I hope you guys got some good information out of this this whole session, right? Like, so I wanted to say this, that remember that successful innovation starts with aligning your vision and building a flexible structure, right? You have to have that vision to know where you're going. And also you need to empower that team. Remember this, always empower your team. Start by assessing your current strategy. I will tell you that. Like, start by how are you doing? What are you doing right now? Right? Always look at what you're doing right now and then identify the areas of improvement, right? And once you identify those areas of improvement, then you figure out how you can improve on those things. Like, listen, if you like additional information or guidance on implementing these strategies, just please reach out to me, right? I'm here to support you. My team is here to support you. And that's what we do. We love to do that, right? And if you're ready, to take the next step, we're here, and we do several things that can help you along your way. So let me just tell you that by us doing these things, I mean, we've been able to help some people, see growth in their organizations, and we appreciate our customers too. But let me tell you what we can do. I'm putting a link inside of our chat, right? So you can grab it and I put the link inside of your chat. So we do strategic consulting, right? With strategic management, which will be, planning and all that good stuff. We do all of that with you. We help you with your, and with thought leadership. And if you need us to help you specifically to build out that plan for 2025 or beyond, we will help you do that. We that's something that I really like doing, actually, out of all the things that I can do. We do leadership coaching as well. And we understand that as a leader, understanding their role, especially if you're new to leadership, it may be, something that you have to figure out. We all have to figure out who we are as leaders and how do we get there. So we support, professional development. We work with individuals and companies that may want to, hire us for their teams to help them with that. And with that leadership coaching comes customizable workshops as well. We can create workshops that will align to your organization's vision to help them understand that and help you implement some of these strategies as well, both with our ongoing support, right? We can build those workshops and then also give you ongoing supports with that, so you can get it embedded inside of your organization. It won't be just something that that is done, right? We will do that. So if you're interested, go ahead to the link, use the QR code that's on the screen, that's that says discovery call with my name on it, Rolanda Michele. And I will absolutely love to hear from you and see if there's something that we can do to support you, see if it's a good fit. Because I can't, I would need to know more about you, and I love learning more about people in their organizations, and I want to see everybody win. So please reach out and schedule a call if you're thinking about it, if you have questions about it, because we're here, we're here to do that. Me and my team is here to do that. We are growing, and I appreciate my team being with who they are, and they're seeing me through this growth. If you would like, you may not want to, like, I'm not ready to put a discovery call or I'm not ready to put that on the books. That's fine. What you can do is do yourself a favor and go ahead and submit a question. Right. Go ahead and submit a question to me that will be answered in an upcoming episode. So I want to thank you guys for joining, right? Thank you so much. And I hope you found something insightful today. I'm here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern to answer your questions and to support you on your journey. So if you have any questions, go ahead and use that QR code that's on the screen. And if you have those questions and you submit those questions, we will absolutely answer them in an upcoming episode of Ask a Coach. However, if you're asking a question that is very specific to strategic planning, we will make sure we answer those questions right away. we will make sure we pull those questions in, even if there isn't a topic that, that might answer that we were going to use. But I will go ahead and answer that question to you, for you, because I think, I want to make sure that you guys are interactive with us. So I do appreciate it. I do hope that this whole thing was able to get through to the group um on Facebook, right? Because I did that. I tried I tried my best to do that. And because I'm trying something new tonight, you always got to try, right? You always got to try something new. You can't just do everything the same way as you did before. So you always got to try something new. So what I will tell you is that I thank you so much for joining tonight. You guys are always the best. I appreciate your support, and I'm here to support you as well. So if you have any questions, use that QR code that's on the screen. Like this video, share this video, and please, please, please go ahead and submit a question. I'm always here, and I appreciate you. You have a great day, a great evening, whatever time you're looking at this, and I appreciate you guys.